Well, hello and welcome. Today we have a very special and intimate conversation planned, and I am thrilled to introduce you to an inspiring couple that I've worked with, and we've been working closely in our marriage coaching program with them. And they've graciously agreed, to share their journey, their triumphs, and even some obstacles that maybe they faced along the way. So, as their coach, I've had the privilege of witnessing their growth and transformation. And so now it's time for their story to inspire you. And so please join me as we delve into their compelling journey. And we're going to learn a little bit more about the powerful changes that they made through the program. Okay. So that being said, without further ado, I'm going to let them introduce themselves. So can you all just kind of share a brief introduction of who you are and why you were seeking coaching services in the first place?
Hello, I'm Amos,
And I'm Natalie.
and we're the Avens.
So we are newlyweds, and it was very important to us. We knew that the importance of setting a strong foundation. So that was one of the reasons that we sought out coaching services, is to make sure that we was doing the necessary maintenance in order to have a successful marriage.
Okay. All right. All right. Now, let me ask you all this. How did it feel before starting? How did you feel before starting the coaching sessions? What was going on and how were you feeling?
A lack of communication. It was a lot of just frustration because we both were talking to one another. However, there was a gap. There was a gap in the communication, and we know that we had to basically get on top of that before it became a major issue.
It's almost like having a different love language where you guys are not communicating properly. So you're both speaking a love language, but it's not the exact language.
Yeah. So you felt like you're kind of missing each other?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, how has the coaching process impacted your daily life? Can you give some specific examples maybe, or?
You know me? Yeah. So for me, the coaching sessions work for our marriage, but it's the guidelines that you gave us. We can actually take those guidelines in our everyday life, right? There's some things of listening to understand, right? And not listening in order to basically say whether you're right or wrong or to place blame. So for me, that's worked at work. It's worked very well with us, and it's also worked with family and friends. So
Okay.
yeah.
So not only was the marriage coaching helpful between the two of you, but you also found it with some family members, friends, and in your professional life as well?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. Very good. Very good. And so what did you appreciate most about our sessions? This could be about the approach, the methods, the environment, or anything else.
Well, from previous coaching
That's right.
personnel,
You all had coaching before, right?
yes, we have.
Okay.
So one thing that I can speak of that we both would talk about, that we love that you didn't focus on what was going on. You taught us how to overcome it and how to tackle it. That's one thing that we loved about your whole strategy on how you were coaching us.
Oh, very good.
So in my experience with other coaches or therapists, like in the past that I've went to, they wanted to, like almost as you're saying, tackle the problem, right? They weren't trying to give us those guidelines to be able to talk through things in private and get to some type of solution or resolution, right? So that is the difference. Also, you're very warm and welcoming, right? You share your experiences. It might not be your personal experience, but you do share experience to make sure that we understand that our issues are relatable, right? It's not just something that we're going through, it's things that other people go through.
Yeah.
And yeah, you made yourself a real person to us versus just a professional.
Yes.
Good. Very good. Very good. And so what ways do you think you've benefited most from the coaching services?
But I know that I learned to take a couple of steps back and listen. I've also learned to not do as much tit for tat. Because I was just, a lot of times I wouldn't hear my wife speak. I'll be ready to respond.
Mhm.
Now I kind of learned to slow down, listen, and if I do have a respond, do it at a later date or another time.
Mhm. Yeah, very good, very good. Now this next question actually fits because you all have had a coaching from other people. You could maybe say a little bit more about, but how would you describe my approach to coaching to someone who's considering seeking help? What would you say? How would you describe my approach to them?
I would say you make it a warm environment so that we're comfortable to share. And
Mhm.
then once you kind of, I'll speak to our experience, right? So our experience with you.
Mhm.
We would have the sessions, the video sessions, calls with you. We would go through, start the session. You would allow us to talk, and you would just sit back and you would observe, right? So if you saw the conversation going one way or the other, and we went a little bit too much left, you'll bring us back,
Yeah.
back to,
Mhm.
okay, now let's go back to what we learned, right? Type of thing. If you see us going a little bit that way. To me, that made it, you focused on getting us to understand the guideline for our success versus, well, why did you do that? Or what, that kind of thing. So I think that's the difference. It's more like having a conversation with someone, right? Or a friend. It's like having an open conversation without any judgment.
Yes.
We
Sure.
also you also took, like, let's say if Amos would feel some type of way, you would ask me how it made me feel, and then you would ask other questions so that the other person can understand, right, from another viewpoint of, just communicating. So for me, I'm thankful for that because I think that's what worked for us and we found our fit.
Very good. Very good.
And then I can say one key topic or one key strategy that you use every session, or when we started off, you made us say something positive about the other person.
Right.
And I think that means so much because now if you're mad at that person,
Yeah.
you start off saying something loving and positive, it kind of calms you down a little bit and bring you back down to, to ground level. I love that. I've never been to a therapist or a coach that ever started off that way. It's always, well, why are you here? What brings you here? What's your problems? Instead of say something positive about the other person.
Yes. Very good. Very good. All right. So, what advice would you give to someone who might be considering coaching services, but they're kind of unsure or hesitant? What advice would you share with someone?
It's not taboo. It's something that is essential, right? For relationships. It's not only marriage. I think that coaching, like I said before, works in all aspects of life, right? For us, it was very important for marriage, but yeah, it worked in other facets as well. So yeah.
And it's also, how bad do you want that relationship?
Right.
Whether it's family, friends, or your spouse.
Mhm.
How bad do you want that relationship? How bad are you willing to invest, not in yourself, but in that relationship? So we can go out and eat expensive, we can buy expensive clothes, we can fly expensive, take nice trips, buy expensive cars and houses. But the first rule that we never do is invest in ourselves.
Mhm.
We realized that from our past history. So now we said we're going to put that into us before we put it into anything else.
Excellent. I'm loving what you all are saying here. So I guess, and then finally, last question, before we get to that, I just thought about something, Brother Avon, a lot of men in particular tend to be hesitant toward getting counseling or coaching or anything like that as far as their relationships. Any special word of tips or advice you could give to the other brothers out there?
The first thing I would say is when you wait too long, normally it's too late.
Mhm.
Don't wait to change your oil on your engine when the engine's falling out the car.
Yeah, very good.
Do your maintenance from jump. Start it out as soon as you get in a relationship. You know, there's premarital counseling. When you get married, you still need coaching service. You still need additional help.
Yeah.
Don't put it off. Invest into your marriage and to yourself.
Okay, very good. Very good. All right. And I guess the last question would just be to say, would you recommend my coaching services to others? And if so, why?
Absolutely, I would.
Good.
For me, our communication is not perfect.
Right.
We still have to work on it, but the recovery from any of our disagreements is so much quicker. It's not lagging on for days and stuff, because it's hard to, when you're in the heat of a moment, to resort back to those guidelines because you're mad. You know, you still get mad. It's okay. But the thing for us is that it's easy for us to look back or go back to those guidelines that you've taught us. And once we implement those, we get through that conversation, right? We're able to, even if it's not right at that moment, you can come back within that same day and use the script, right? If you have to use the script, use the script. But we sit back and we're like, you know what? If we would have did that while we were having that argument, you know, we would have come to it quicker. So for me, because we went through this together, because we were committed to the process, we recover quickly, right? And not only that, it's just most of our communication now is so much better. We're happier.
Yeah.
It goes into different parts of our life. Like we work together also business-wise, right? So we're always around each other, right? So that communication is key, and it's something that I appreciate from you for giving us that gem that we can use ongoing. So.
Great. Excellent.
And then I can just piggyback off of that and just say, I like a bunch of metaphors. You know, it's profound to me. So I can also say that just because your foundation is built out of concrete, you may get cracks in it from time to time, but it's a concrete and it's a solid foundation. That crack will not destroy your house.
Yeah.
So once you built on a solid foundation, you can always patch those cracks as they come.
Yes. Excellent. All right. Excellent job. You all did a great job. I'm impressed. Wow. I mean, we did that in one take. You did an excellent job with that. So that was a great conversation, hearing directly from those who walk the path of transformation. They put in the work, and now they're reaping the rewards. And that truly embodies the essence of what we're talking about when it comes to marriage, what marriage coaching can do. So, you know, I like to express my heartfelt gratitude to both of you, for being courageous and doing this video here, and for opening up about their journey and shedding light on the transformative power of marriage coaching. So it's my hope that their story has resonated with you all, and it maybe stirred some curiosity with you, and maybe even inspired you to take the first steps toward a healthier, happier, and stronger relationship. So remember, every relationship can benefit from guidance, clarity, and growth. So if you're ready to transform your marriage and your life, I invite you to reach out and explore what our coaching program can offer you. And thank you so much for watching. Until next time, keep growing together. Harmonious wishes.
Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you.
T.
Thank you, Avens.
It was a great one.
Bye-bye.